You're watching CU Global Hub. I'm Aditi Shukla and here are the top headlines of the day. Rajya Sabha MP Satnam Singh Sandhu backs sports governance bill. Opposition protest vote chori over SIR. Minta Devi responds. Shehbaz warns India over Indus water treaty. Mithun fires back. Tweet triggers storm between Congress, Shiv Sena and Israeli ambassador. India step closer to hosting 2030 Commonwealth Games. Ahmedabad in spotlight. Moving to the top story of the day. Rajya Sabha MP Satnam Singh Sandhu has welcomed the National Sports Governance Bill, recently passed by the government. He called India the world's youngest nation and said the bill would help to fulfill the dreams of young sports talent. The bill sets 3 ambitious targets: hosting the 2036 Olympics, placing India among the top 5 sporting nations and promoting women's sports through equal opportunities. Mr. Sandhu said the law reflects Prime Minister Modi's vision for Indian sports and offers a roadmap for global recognition. Speaking of his Punjab roots, he said the state has always brought the sporting glory and thanked the Prime Minister for empowering athletes. Moving to the next story. In India, opposition MPs staged a protest over alleged manipulation in Bihar's electoral rolls under the Special Intensive Revision (SIR), wearing T-shirts bearing the face of 124-year-old Minta Devi. They accused the Election Commission of negligence and the government of vote chori. The clerical error, where an impossible age was listed, quickly became a symbol of electoral flaws. The EC admitted the mistake and confirmed that corrections had been initiated under the Form 8. While the incident is being rectified, the controversy has sparked wider debates about election transparency, data accuracy, and the urgent need to restore the voter confidence. Moving to the next story, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has warned India against its suspension of the Indus water treaty, saying the enemy will not take even one drop of water. His fiery remarks follow India's move in April after the Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26 people. Former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari claimed the suspension was an attack on the Indus Valley civilization. In response, actor turned BJP leader Mithun Chakrabarti issued a sharp retort, hinting at BrahMos missile retaliation while cracking a pun on dams. He clarified that his anger was directed at the Pakistan's establishment, not ordinary citizens, but warned of grave consequences if provocations were continued. Moving to the next story, Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has accused Israel of genocide in Gaza, citing over 60,000 deaths, including 18,000 children. Her comments sparked a storm after Israel's ambassador to India, Reuven Azhar, rejected the charges, saying Israel had killed 25,000 Hamas terrorists while providing humanitarian aid. Azhar argued that population growth in Gaza disapproves the genocide claims. The sharp exchange drew strong support for Vadra from Congress leaders who condemned the envoy's remarks as unacceptable. Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi also criticized Israel's envoy, urging India's foreign ministry to take a note and warn the ambassador for his unchecked remarks, which undermines the dignity of Indian lawmakers. Moving to the next story, India has taken a major step towards hosting the 2030 Commonwealth Games, with Ahmedabad emerging as the front runner. The Indian Olympic Association, at its special general meeting in New Delhi, approved the country's official bid. If successful, this will mark India's second time hosting the Games after the 2010 Delhi edition. The IOA will submit its final bid by August 31st, a crucial step to secure the hosting rights. With Canada withdrawing from the race, India's chances have brightened. Commonwealth sport officials have already inspected Ahmedabad's facilities and the final decision will be announced in November in Galslow. Moving to the next story, a tense night unfolded along the line of control in Uri, Baramulla, as Indian Army troops foiled an infiltration attempt by militants supported by Pakistan's Border Action Team. In the fierce exchange of fire, Havaldar Ankit Kumar made the ultimate sacrifice, showcasing immense courage. Despite poor visibility and harsh conditions, troops forced the infiltrators to retreat. The Chinar Corps paid tribute to the fallen soldier and expressed solidarity with his family. This marks the 4th Army casualty in just a week in Jammu and Kashmir, underlining the escalating threat of infiltration attempts. Security forces have launched large-scale combing operations to ensure border safety. Moving to the next story, former Indian cricketer Harbhajan Singh has sparked debate by urging India to boycott its Asia Cup clash against Pakistan. Criticizing the BCCI's decision, he said, "Khoon aur pani ek saath nahi beh sakta," arguing that the nation must come before the cricket. His remarks follow the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor, which intensifies the call for cutting sporting ties with Pakistan. Harbhajan, who played in the World Championship of Legends, reminded that Indian players refuse to face Pakistan there. He suggested current cricketers, including Sushil Kumar Yadav, should also take a stand, insisting it is immoral to face Pakistan while soldiers sacrifice their lives on the border. Moving to the next story, Rajasthan police have arrested Mahendra Prasad, the manager of the DRDO guest house in Jaisalmer, on charges of spying for Pakistan. Officials revealed that Prasad used social media to share sensitive details about missiles, trials and scientist movement with a Pakistani handler. He was detained on August 4th after intelligence inputs and formally arrested on August 12th following interrogation in Jaipur. The court has remanded him in police custody for 2 days. The case raises grave concerns over insider threats, as even non-technical staff with access to the high security facilities can compromise national security. Investigation continue into the extent of the data leak. Moving to the next story, in a landmark order, the Supreme Court directed that all stray dogs in Delhi NCR to be moved to the shelters within 8 weeks. The ruling aims to combat the rising rabies crisis, which kills nearly 20,000 people in India annually. However, the decision has sparked protest from animal rights activists. Former Union Minister Maneka Gandhi called the order impractical and ecologically harmful. The DMC's veterinary wing is preparing a phased plan to remove aggressive or diseased dogs, though no data has been released yet. The ruling has reignited the debate on balancing the public health, animal welfare and urban management. Moving to the next story, in a major legal twist, the Supreme Court has set aside the Delhi High Court's bail order for Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar, accused in the 2021 murder of wrestler Sagar Dhankar at Chhatrasal Stadium. Kumar, who was granted bail in March after spending 3 years in jail, has now been directed to surrender within 1 week. The court accepted Dhankar's family's plea that witnesses were being intimidated and the trial was delayed, with only 30 out of 186 examined so far. The charges against Kumar include murder, conspiracy, rioting and assault. With bail revoked, the case is set to intensify as trial proceedings continue. Moving to the next story, Samajwadi Party MP and veteran actor Jaya Bachchan was seen losing her cool at the Constitution Club in Delhi after a man tried to take a selfie with her without her permission. Mrs. Bachchan, who was seen in conversation with others, pushed the man aside and demanded an explanation, prompting an immediate apology. Fellow MPs Meesha Bharti and Priyanka Chaturvedi were also present, with Ms. Bharti addressing the man before walking in. This is not the first time Jaya Bachchan has expressed displeasure over unsolicited pictures. In April, she scolded a fan during Manoj Kumar's prayer meet for clicking at an inappropriate moment. On her granddaughter podcast, she had also admitted to despising such invasions of privacy. Despite frequent trolling for her blunt responses, she maintains that online criticism does not affect her. Moving to the next story, Telangana has reported a significant 24% decline in cyber fraud losses in the first half of 2025, with total losses amounting to Rs 681 crore compared to Rs 900 crore during the same period last year. The state stood out with a 13% fall in cybercrime, even as the rest of India witnessed a 37% surge. Officials credited awareness campaigns, rapid blocking of fraudulent SIMSs, IMEISs and URLs and proactive recovery measures. Nearly 105 crore rupees was prevented from reaching fraudsters. Moving to the next story, China has suspended all engagement with Czech President Petr Pavel following his July 27 meeting with Dalai Lama in India. Beijing accused Pavel of disregarding repeated warnings and undermining the Czech government's commitment to the One China policy. Pavel, after a trip to Japan, attended the Dalai Lama's 90th birthday celebration in Dharamshala, where the Tibetan spiritual leader has lived since fleeing in 1959 after a failed uprising, while the Dalai Lama advocates cultural autonomy rather than independence. China views his actions as separatists. Prague has a long-standing history of supporting Tibetan, recently displaying large birthday banners in the city centre, which Beijing called provocative. The incident has now pushed China-Czech relations to a new low. Moving to the next story, India's gems and jewellery sector is bracing for a severe blow after the United States imposed a 25% tariff on diamonds export, which were previously duty-free. Industry bodies warn that an additional 25% punitive tariff is also likely, threatening to worsen the crisis further. According to the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, diamond shipments to the US could decline by as much as 80% between August and November 2025, leading to a revenue loss of nearly $1.2 billion compared to the same period last year. With the industry's heavy reliance on the US market, experts caution that the move could jeopardize around 1.73 lakh jobs, striking workers and businesses just ahead of India's festive season. Moving to the next story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to travel to New York in September to participate in the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The high-level debate will run from September 23rd to 29 with US President Donald Trump addressing world leaders on the opening day. According to the provisional speakers list, Modi is slated to speak on September 26th, alongside leaders from Israel, China, Pakistan and Bangladesh. His visit comes amid friction in trade ties, following Washington's decision to impose 50% tariff on Indian imports over Russian oil deals. However, both sides are pushing ahead the talks on the first phase of a bilateral trade agreement, likely to be finalized by fall 2025. The session will also be shaped by ongoing global crises, including the Israel-Hamas conflict and the Russian-Ukraine war. Moving to the next story, the Punjab Health Department has made dope test compulsory for all individuals arrested under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. In a circular issued on Wednesday, civil surgeons were instructed to ensure that every accused undergoes the test as the part of the general medical examination, to be conducted within 10 hours of arrest at government hospitals free of charge. Results will be attached to the medical report and forwarded to the court. Officials explained that the step will not only help establish whether the accused was under the influence of drugs during the alleged offence, but also strengthen the police cases during the trial. Additionally, the test will help authorities identify addicts in need of rehabilitation. Previously, investigating officers had to bear the cost of the procedure, which has now been waived under the new order. Moving to the next story, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy arrived in Berlin on Wednesday, where he was received by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz for pivotal European summits focused on rallying support for Kyiv, ahead of US President Donald Trump's upcoming talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Trump-Putin meeting, their first since Moscow's 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine, has raised concerns across Europe. While Trump emphasized that world leaders want to see a deal done, frontline nations like Finland cautioned that Russia has no intention of halting expansion. Zelenskyy firmly rejected any compromise that would force Ukraine to cede the Donbas region, calling it dangerous and evocative of the 1938 Munich Agreement. European officials fear that concessions could embolden Putin further, prompting Baltic and Nordic states to brace for potential escalation. Moving to the next story, AI startup Perplexity has made a surprise bid to acquire Google's Chrome browser, pledging to keep Chromium open source, invest $3 billion over 2 years, and retain Chrome's default search engine, according to the reports. If successful, the acquisition would give Perplexity access to Chrome's 3 billion global users, boosting its challenge to rivals like OpenAI, which is also developing an AI browser. However, analysts argue Google is unlikely to sell, as Chrome remains central to its AI-driven search strategy. Any forced sale could be mired in litigation, with legal experts noting appeals may reach the US Supreme Court. Rival DuckDuckGo's CEO has estimated Chrome's value at $50 billion, far above Perplexity's offer. Meanwhile, a ruling in Google's ongoing search antitrust case is expected soon, setting the stage for high-stakes developments in the tech world. And here's the last story of the day. At the age of 75, superstar Rajinikanth continues to prove his box office dominance with his upcoming gangster action drama Coolie. Directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj, already smashing booking records. Ahead of its release, the film has crossed 100 crores in advance sales for the opening weekend, with over 50 crores coming from India alone, including 38 crores on day one across all languages. The overseas market is equally strong, generating nearly 60 crores for the weekend and about 45 crores on the opening day. Trade analysts credit the surge to Rajinikanth's unparalleled global fan following and Sun Pictures' aggressive promotional push, with total bookings now standing at over 110 crores, including 80 plus crore for day one. Coolie is poised for one of the biggest openings in Indian cinema history. Its worldwide release on August 14th, just ahead of Independence Day, sets the stage for a historic debut across Tamil, Telugu, Hindi and Kannada markets. That's all for today. Keep watching Global Campus Hub.